Sachi Dastidar. Sir, please come over here. Professor Sachi Dastidar is Distinguished Service Professor Emeritus at State University of New York. He has also taught at Florida State University, Alabama A&M University, Indian Institute of Management, Kolkata, Kazakhstan Institute of Technology, Almaty, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, Ireland Higher Education Commission. He is the only recipient of Fulbright Award at the State University of New York. He has written multiple books. He is a very well-known author who has been acclaimed and acknowledged. He is devoting his entire life to this cause, and he will be speaking on 1946 direct action and Hindu genocide in the Partition project. So that will give you the background as to what is the forerunner of what is happening in Bangladesh today. Professor Sachi Dastidar, please.
Thank you. I'll try to do as fast as I can. I have been working with this for over 4 decades. And I'll basically, I'm going to use these 2 books, my authored these books. It's called Bengal's in the Holocaust, and the other one recently, this year published, Hudson Ganga merger. I'm not going to spend more time, but they are coming from these 2 books. In case any of you interested, you let me know. So let me go as fast as I can. And then we have some slides. He's going to help, and then I'll show some. Some of the things I've seen through my own eyes. That's why it's very different from when I'm taking picture from somebody else. So I thank Dr. Adityanji and ICHRRF for the formation Forum of Indigenous Hindu and Indians, as we never protected our families unlike the rest of the world. It is a life-churning issue, highlighted in terms of my books and writings. I wish there are more scholars like him with unified Hindu and Indian identity, not a sectarial one. This is the very important issue we are breaking, our fatalistic, tolerant, indigenous, suicidal, coward, divisive identity. That's the Hindu identity. They have none. Our holistic identity is necessary for progress. I have received threats from defending our people and for opposing our extermination. Luckily, my family and friends support me, including secular Muslims. In decades of work, I can go on for long, but I have no time. Thus, when Hindus are killed in Bangladesh, Tamils, Assamese, Marathis, different kinds of Indians, say it is Bengalis being killed, not Hindus. Or when they are exterminated from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bhutan, Burma, Tibet, we say the same. To me, is extremely sad and self-destructive. One more thing as to why our genocide and pogroms do not get attention. Because India is the only surviving indigenous culture. Monotheistic Christianity, Buddhism, Islam and atheists get together and defend each other. But polytheistic tradition, that is tradition which has not been converted to these, there is nobody to defend. That's why in 1971 genocide, to do in United Nations, another nation has to sponsor that. 3 million people were murdered and not one nation could come forward. This is us. This is us. Growing up in a refugee family in Kolkata in 1960s, we supported the left, but I realized their racism when visits to our and their homeland in Bangladesh. This was true for parties on the right. Can I ask how many of you know that there are 50 to 60 million Bengali Hindu refugees in India? How many are 50 to 60 million? And India. And West Bengal and Tripura are run by East Pakistani, Bangladeshi Hindu refugee Indians. 2 states are run by them, yet they will defend us. We call them Bengal or East Bengali or refugee. I have evolved into these issues as I visited our homeland and wrote about my experience and our hypocrisy. My parents were highly educated. In 1919, my ma stood first in school exam in today's Bangladesh, and the highest number in Bengali at the college level joint exam in today's Bangladesh and West Bengal combined in 1934, with more population than the US, winning 2 medals. Dad graduated possibly in the first batch of Dhaka University in the 1920s. They got engineering degree from Britain, yet had no money to send me to school for the first 4 years, as they had to take care of refugee families, uncles, aunts, grandparents, and more. My wife's mother died because of partition as they came to India when my wife was a toddler. Her early teen sisters became mother of the family, remaining bachelorette. This was very normal for refugee families. I will end this painful topic with positive note. As our first visit in 1982, we started to build schools, dorms, orphanages run by oppressed minorities. Muslims didn't want to take help from us as we are Kafirs. It's a derogatory word. Mass killing started by British oppressors in 1943-44. Churchill's Bengal famine. 3 to 7 million died during a bumper crop season when he took all the crops out of the country and destroyed over 65,000 boats in the world's largest delta and punished Bengal and India. Another genocide started in 1946 in Noakhali district of Bengal, abducting thousands of Hindu mothers and daughters. Gandhiji went to stop, but that failed to recover any. I interviewed the person who went with the Gandhiji. You saw in the video in the slide here. Gandhiji to be a Gujarati Bengali interpreter for 46 days of walking mission. Interview is on YouTube. Why our schools in India do not teach? I understand my maternal grandma, grandpa, 2 uncles spent 17 years in British prisons as they marched for India's freedom. But when they entered India penniless and homeless from East Pakistan, they couldn't receive any help from India because of the racist Nehru Ali Treaty that denied Bengali refugees any help, for which 2 Bengali MPs, Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee and K.C. Nyogi, resigned from the cabinet. Dr. Mukherjee was imprisoned and killed in Kashmir under Nehru. My journey began as we started Probini Foundation to help the poor and the orphan in Bangladesh, then in West Bengal, Assam and Mizoram. We have built 14 schools, dorms and orphanages in Bangladesh and 2 more in oppressed Buddhist and Christian Mizoram. Would you believe that Christian Mizoram, this part of the state of India, drove quarter of our population to Tripura, another nearby state, because they didn't convert. And even today, don't allow buying property in the capital city of non-converts. If you're non-Christian, they are not allowing property. This is in India. That is the stupidity of India. And if they do it, New York Times and other people would write 3-page article, but not that the Christians are oppressing this. We are helping a Buddhist school there. Let me invite you to join our Partition documentation project. Please write for our journal and newsletter, confirms and censorship. Actually, the other book discusses about censorship, and let me join. Okay, and censorship, destruction of families, homes, shrines. Milita is translating another of my books in Bengali. Please send your address and email to Partition Center. I want to share a few slides to show what I have seen through my own eyes, to cover a vast war neglected issue, but more importantly, censored by Hindus, Indians, Muslim majority nations, the world, even the sheltered victims in India, left and right. Would you be surprised if I tell you that over 3.1 million Hindus have been murdered since partition of India, 47? 3.1 million. Yet, we are stupid. We don't speak up. So I'm more angry at us than anybody else. Or would you be surprised if I tell you over 50, I just mentioned 50 and 60 million Hindus have been driven out from that small land. And most of refugees, there are more write-ups of our oppression by Muslims in Bangladesh than in India, West Bengal, America. This is the sad part. Would you be surprised if I tell you that every single nation around India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka and Tibet, has killed or cleansed its indigenous minority, but just by calling them Hindu. Hindu is not an Indian term. It's British introduced us. Everybody claims it, and India, being India, accepts it, which is fine with me. But on the other hand, we should be protesting it. As I mentioned, this is awful. Do you know that the first left government in West Bengal had a Muslim League, but no Hindu party, yet that group was headed by Hindu refugees who were sheltered in India. It's baffling. I had individuals who visited me in India from Bangladesh. India is so corrupt in that sense, without any visa and passport. Very recently, one Bangladeshi senator was murdered in India and cut into small pieces where nobody can trace them. It was done by 6 Muslim gentlemen. All 6 are from Bangladesh, all 6 had Indian paper. Passport. That's how all neighbors claim India's indigenous people, as I mentioned. I want a secular nation, as Hinduism is secular, pluralistic, tolerant tradition. Hindus ignored the science of to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And old Sanskrit guidance, Shate Satyam Samachara. In the midst of pogroms, I was able to find some life-turning events, so I end with those positive notes. I have visited all the states of India, all neighboring states except for I have not visited Tibet. The extermination of Hindus is unparalleled in human history, yet rarely mentioned in Bengal, India, and the world. Why? After 1917, Dhaka University's Jawaharlal massacre in Pakistan by the Islamic Republic of Pakistan and its Bengali allies, I just mentioned, 3 million were killed. And we rarely had papers in our here who wrote about it. And many of you just say it's the same thing. We are not considered even living beings. Yet, by the way, this killing was done by people who were sheltered. No Pakistani or Islamist was tried. And we give many of those killers got shelter here in America, in Canada, and Pakistan and Muslim majority nations. So this is sad and shocking. So let me just go very fast with I have a few more, but let me just end by saying, please protest, share with world media, politicians and intelligence in multiple languages. Always ask for return of refugees like us. We want to go back to my homeland. I'll show you a picture of my homeland that they lived there for 1500s, but they drove out. Pakistan had a law called Enemy Property Act. Every Hindu minority's land and property could be declared enemy property, and a Muslim can walk into your property without paying a penny. Without paying a penny. Why won't you protest? So let me go out through. Oh, you didn't move it down? I thought you were moving it down. So
go ahead. Use this to move down.
This one? Sorry, okay. These are the, all right, a refugee colony in Delhi. I was very happy to see Prime Minister Indira Gandhi sheltered them. Even in West Bengal, they were not sheltering. Those were run by refugees.
So can you conclude, please?
Very fast, let me run. And these were the destruction of our shashans, our cremation areas. We built a guards down. There are 6 guards from here who were gang raped by rapists in 2005. This was 1971 genocide. Let me go very, very fast.
Can you go to the conclusion?
Conclusion, I have no conclusion except for saying that this is what we are. And this is a guy, family who was cut into pieces into small because they didn't go to India. Very poor. Yet, nobody protested. Why didn't we protest? I went and visited, offered my apology. These are the very common things you see through your own eyes. Homes burned, ashrams burned. One of my friend's son who touched my feet as an uncle, he was beheaded and sent to the mother because they didn't give the property to a Muslim guy. I mean, so as you can see, and that's the guy, the beard guy, that was our ancestral home. He marched into that. So, I mean, and this is my maternal uncle's home, who was overthrown from there and then became homeless, sleeping in the street. And so we built schools, and as you can see, these are dormitories, hostels we built. So.